Spirituality is accountability. It's not blaming the world. It's not blaming the universe. It's not only expecting the universe to work for you because you say your affirmations and you have crystals and you meditate. That's not what spirituality is. That's narcissistic spiritual. Spirituality is accountability. It's really taking stock of how you can work with what you have to be a better person and put more positivity and love and light into the world. Anyway.
Amen.
Almost dying taught me how to live. Being struck by a car left me in a 3.5-week coma with 15 broken bones and 16 surgeries to complete, including brain surgery. However, I woke up from that coma in an even greater place than I ever foresaw for myself. How? The universe will guide you out of the darkness and into the light if you allow it. Often, spirituality comes off as too highbrow. I'm not about that. Welcome to the podcast that talks and teaches about it through the lens of humor. Together, we'll harness positive energy and use it to work with the universe, all while giggling the entire time. Welcome to Gabriella Rebranded. Win most, lose some. So this episode is a re-record. It's the only re-record I've done this season, but I feel like every podcast, you need to have a re-record at some point. You need to rip the Band-Aid off the re-record virginity. Anyway, this is Paige.
Hi.
Paige is my current roommate and my friend and one of my best friends. We met in college. And when we recorded this episode the first time, it was the first night of the California wildfires.
It was a wild night.
Our minds were it was a wild
Yeah.
night and our minds were just all over the place. And watching the episode back, I was like, yo, this fucking sucks. And I thought I was going to have to do like a song and a dance to convince you to re-record it. And then you were like, no, I would also really like to re-record that. But anyway, now we're here. And the point of this episode is almost a year ago now, which is fucking crazy. But almost a year ago now, we took a trip to Ojai.
Oh, yeah.
A little day trip, a hiking trip. We tripped on Shrooms. And while I was tripping, I had a conversation with the universe. And I learned a lot of really powerful things. And I would like to share them. So I'd like to go over my conversation. And the universe is inside all of us. So it wasn't like the shrooms, what they do, and people theorize they can do this, is they bring part of your consciousness to the surface. So the universe is inside all of us. So my soul, at its core, already knew this. It already knew this. The shrooms just brought them to the surface. And I think what's also very interesting is, do you watch The Bachelor at all?
You know I don't watch
Bachelor.
The Bachelor. You know I can't do that. Like, everyone has been guilting me into trying to watch Love Island, and I'm like not even on that train yet.
Yo,
The Bachelor, I've never, one day.
Listen, the new episode of Love Island comes out tonight if you want to watch it with me.
I'm aware.
So Luke P on Hannah B's season of The Bachelorette, we don't like Luke P. He's like a Jesus freak and whatever, and he's misogynist and he's terrible, whatever. We don't like him. But he had this moment and everyone made fun of him for it, where he talks about like he's a born-again virgin. And he talks about how the whole reason for it is because Jesus came to him in the shower. I'm not making fun of Luke P for like being really into his religion. Luke P's terrible for a lot of other reasons. But he has this whole moment about how Jesus came to him in the shower and that's what inspired him to be a born-again virgin. And if like a day or 2 days before we went to Ojai, the universe came to me in the shower.
Oh.
And I realized I had a moment. A lot of what was delivered to me in the conversation, not all of it, but a lot of it. So it was like I had my Luke P moment. The universe came to me in the shower. And so then I went into the conversation was like, you get things when you're ready for them. And I think the universe was like, now that you know at least the plot summary, I can give you the details. And we can really dive into what I'm trying to talk to you. Okay. So we're going to talk about the day so I can deliver my lessons. So, do you want to recap the day? Do you remember? It's a year ago at this point.
Obviously, I remember it.
Okay.
We left LA.
We left LA.
Maybe like 9:30ish.
Maybe like, yes.
Obviously, we stopped for coffee.
Obviously,
I got an iced latte from Alfred.
Obviously, I got a black iced coffee. Obviously.
We drove to Ojai. Oh, we stopped at, what was it? The Ojai Inn?
Yes.
Ojai Valley Inn, one of those.
The Ojai Valley
we
Inn.
had that beautiful lunch.
We had that
overlooking
beautiful
the
lunch.
golf course.
Caesar salad overlooking the golf course. And I remember thinking, like, damn, when I am in a relationship with somebody, we are coming back here and we're going to play golf.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
If that
definitely
day
go
ever comes.
back.
If that day ever comes.
Then we went hiking.
But just to give a start.
And took the mushrooms.
And we took the mushrooms.
Yes.
But to give a start, how I knew this was going to be a very powerful day.
Okay.
Is one, I was going through shit when we went. Like, I had just moved. Like, a bunch of things in my life were just sort of flip-flopping. Like, there, just like relationships were in question and everything. And I was just like in a place and like in a space. And you were like, hey, let's go to Ojai. Like it was your idea and everything. And I was just, remember we'd been supposed to go for my birthday.
And then it
got rained out.
It was 50 degrees and pouring.
And you don't go to Ojai in bad weather. So, but you get things when you're ready for them. So sure enough, when I was in this space was when you were like, let's finally go to Ojai. We should go again, by the way.
We totally should go again.
Yes, but the way I knew it was going to be a really powerful day is I have my sign from the universe. You know what my sign actually is, but we're not saying it to the viewers. So for the sake of, making up a sign for the viewers, we're saying that my sign is the Harry Potter novel, specifically the novel.
Okay.
And the way that we were in the car and we were going, and while we were in the car, we had just left LA, and you were like, want to know what I really want to do, what I would really like to do this year? I was like, what? And you were like, I would really like to reread the first Harry Potter novel. I think we should do this together as roommates. It can be a nice way. Like, we have a little book club for the first Harry Potter novel. And I was like, today's going to be a really good day. I just got my sign for the universe. Today going to be a really good day. So we go hiking. We take the shrooms. And you know a lot more about shrooms than me.
Oh my God. Remember you brought like the actual like dried up mushrooms?
Yes.
And then we were eating them. And remember I had one in my mouth and I started chewing it and then I swallowed it and I like was trying to chase it with water and then I literally went blah, and like spit it out. Yeah.
But luckily we had a lot more.
Oh
we
yeah.
had too many mushrooms.
Luckily my like little episode was saved by more mushrooms.
We still have a lot of those in the freezer.
Well, you know what that means.
That we have to do them again.
Obviously.
I'm due for another conversation with the universe. But so we took and you've always been, because I've taken a lot of shrooms since I got hurt. I haven't tripped a lot, but I've microdosed a lot because it's good for the brain and blah, blah, blah. But you like have always been the like, you know way more about shrooms, you know way more about acid. You're a rave queen.
Yes.
I
had my wild days.
You had your wild days. So you've always been sort of like the role model.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So when we first start hiking, as the shrooms start hitting, you turn around at one point and you start taking pictures of me. And I, like girls always do when you're taking pictures, I was like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to, like, how am I supposed to pose? And you're like, you're doing great. Just like, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. And this was when my conversation started because I was like, none of us are supposed to do anything. Like, we are supposed to just be. None of us are supposed to do anything. Like, all you got to do is just be. And whatever you're going to do, like, that's what you're meant to do. Like, even the things you fuck up, you're meant to fuck up. None of us are supposed, there is no mold we're supposed to fit. We are supposed to just be ourselves.
Yeah.
And like, this, like, stop trying to fit a mold of what you think others want you to be or what you think you're supposed to do, how you think you're supposed to pose. Just be.
Yeah.
Just like do what's making you happy. And I was like, damn, she's so damn right. I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm supposed
to just stand here.
I'm supposed to just keep being me.
The candid photos are always the best.
The candid photos are always the best.
Yeah.
And as we keep walking, it was like the flowers and the shrubs and the bushes around me were like welcoming me as I walked above them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, we're all connected. Like the universe, we're all so connected. Like, look at these plants, my friends, reaching out to me, holding my hands. Like, and that was when I was like, because they were like reaching out to me and welcoming me. I was like, the universe is always supporting you. Like, it's always supporting you. It's always with you. It's always holding you. Like, as I was going up the mountain, I was like, I am so supported. I am so held. The universe is always here for me. And at one point, it literally looked like the mountains were breathing.
Yeah.
Like, we were all breathing together. And I was like, oh my God, everything's so connected. Like the universe is so connected. It's within us all. It unites everything. And I was just having like this beautiful one with nature moment. And I know like, because you like hiking so much.
Yeah.
You're like a hike person.
I do.
And it's like you find a lot of beauty in nature.
Yeah.
And connecting with nature.
And just being outside and, you know.
Yeah. It's like, I remember one time
it's peaceful.
Yeah, it's peaceful. And I remember one time recently, I asked you, like, what activity makes you feel the most Paige? Like, do you want to, like, go out to dinner? Do you want to, like, dress cute? Do you want to, like, do this? And you're like, I want to go hiking.
I feel like it's just fun and enjoyable.
It's fun.
And, you know, as an adult, like, there's there are a lot of activities you can do, but it's like it's not like we're gonna go like play sports or something.
Really? We're not gonna go play sports?
I don't know. And you know me, I love to be physical. I love to get outside. Like I love to, I love working out and like doing things that make me feel good in my body. And I feel like hiking, it's something you can do with a friend. You can chat, you can be quiet, you see the beautiful nature, you can take pictures. Like it's very calming yet fulfilling.
Really? You like to work out? I wouldn't know that from your 3:13 marathon time.
Okay.
3:13.
It's
also, to be clear, she's 5'2". She doesn't have long legs.
I do not. I don't know. I had wings that day.
You had wings that day?
I don't know what happened.
You were flying.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's what you were saying is there's one hike in Malibu that I specifically take a friend on whenever a friend is like going through something.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something so magical about that hike. It takes like 3 hours to do and the view is so pretty. Whenever somebody's like going through something, they like really get out all the things they need to get out while they're on that hike. So it's like so true that it gives you that.
Yeah. And you're also seeing beautiful things.
Yeah. And it reminds you how beautiful the universe is, especially because a lot of times, especially lately, I feel like the world can be so ugly.
Yeah.
And you could only have like an ugly negative view of the world. But when you go hiking, you're like, the world is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it truly has its beautiful parts, universe. But anyway, so as we continue on our hike trail, you're leading the way up. For the most part, you're leading up. I lead for a bit on the way down. We'll get to that next. But on the way up, you were leading. And I got messages about like a few people in particular. And you were one of the people that I got messages about. And I have a hard time trusting people, friends. I really do. I used to think it was just because of a general mass loss of so many people when I got hurt. And that definitely is what it is. But I realized recently that it plays into like the specific loss of 3 people. Well, I kind of already lost them, but I really lost them after my accident. And like, it's never something I've been super comfortable talking about. The only people that I've ever talked about it with is people that saw what happened live because yes, these very classy ladies made a public display on Instagram about it. So like people did see what happened live. Proof of that being that I was comatose and people had to tell me, yo, this shit fucking happened while you were out. And I was like, damn. And I'm really working on that like at the moment. Since I came to that conclusion, or had that realization at the end of February, beginning of March. And since I've come to that realization, I've been like really working on trusting friends, like a few specific people. But what I really got from this moment when we were on the hike and you were leading is you were someone who the universe was like literally saying to me, like helping me trust people and that like I can trust friends. Like because you know so much more about hiking, like you're super into hiking, you're super into shrooms. The universe was like saying like it like as I was following you, like you can trust this person. Like this is someone you can trust. Like there are friends, like you don't have to assume, like I kind of assume that everybody's ready to drop me at every given instant. So what at any given instant, you've seen the way when there's a slight chance that somebody wronged me, I have a moment where I'm just instantly like assume the worst, like assume they did the worst thing to me because I think anyone's ready to drop me at any given instant. We're working on that. And what the universe was saying to me is like, there are a few friends that I know I can trust. And the universe was saying like, you can induct Paige into the circle of trust. Dash Robert De Niro. And like, you can induct Paige into that circle. Like you were with me. You're who I had dinner with the night of my accident. And like, we were already in like the best friend circle from college, but that made us get so much closer. And like, now we're roommates and like, that like, you've really become someone that I can depend on. And this was like such a moment where the universe was like, yes, like, see, like, you can follow this person. Like there are things that this person is so much better at than you, like shrooms, like hiking. And like you can trust this person. You can depend on them. And while I, the universe, am always here for you as the plants were holding my hands, there will also be moments, there will be people that I drop into your life that you can trust and will always be there for you too. You don't have to do it. I think a lot of times I embody the Taylor Swift song, "You're on your own, kid." You always have been. And yes, that is partially true. But like the universe was saying like, hey, you don't have to always do everything by yourself.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. And like as, you know, a friend to someone, something I value and I see friends and what I would want friends to think of when they're friends with me is we all go through really tough times in our lives. Like you went through such a tough time and you had bad reactions as a result from it and things came up and, you know, to a lesser degree, other people have gone through bad times. Like, you know, I'm going through like a breakup and like, you know, people have bad moments where they're sad and they might not be the best friend to you in that moment. But, you know, in those times as the other friend, it's just important to recognize that they are going through a bad time and to be even closer to them and to be there for them even more. Because as you saw with yourself, like, you know, you were going through such a tough time and you couldn't always in that time period be the best friend to your other friends. And, you know, you were going through stuff. But when I saw that, you know, I just wanted to be there for you because I know deep down you're a good person. And, you know, I knew that at your core, you know, you don't mean to lash out. At your core, you don't mean to do that. And after you did, you would apologize. You know, if you had a moment like that, you would apologize. So it's kind of the same situation, like to a lesser degree, like we all go through tough times and, you know, deaths in the family and losses. And, you know, in those tough times, like when you see your friend is going through that, even if it's a month, 2 months, 3 months, in your case, it might have been 6 months to a year after, you still have to know that that person was affected by whatever happened in their life, be it small, be it big. And, you know.
In my book, I just started writing a part about how like friendships, just relationships with people in general are give and take. And there will be times where someone is more take. And there will be, and your responsibility as a friend or as a daughter, as a partner, is that when someone needs to be more take, I'm not saying if this person is a selfish bitch. I'm saying if they're going through something where they need to be more take, you need to be more give. And the way that they'll make it up to you if they're, you know, a legit homie is that when you're going through shit and you need to be more take, they're more give and it trades off. And a big thing that happened, if not everyone that kind of drifted away during my accident, but definitely not everyone, but several people, is that like, I needed to be more take during that.
Yeah.
And people in their 20s, especially, can be selfish. And some people just didn't want to give that much. And that's fine. The 3 people that I specifically lost that sparked the trust issues, it had nothing to do with that. It was just very cunty moves on their
bad
it was just
people.
very cunty moves on their part. I might have told you about that.
Yeah.
But it was just very cunty moves at that part. But no, just everyone in you know what they say, in every situation, no one is 100% wrong or 100% right. It's always gray. It's somewhere down the middle.
Yeah.
As it pertains to those 3 people, they are 100% wrong.
Yeah.
They are 100% wrong. But no, it's that's what friendship is. It's give and take. And it's learning to balance, like, yeah, right now I'm in a place where I can be more give. I'm not in a place where I need that much take right now. So I'm fine to give more to you or to any of my friends that are going through shit. I don't need to be that take right now. And true friendship is acknowledging that and being able to see that for yourself.
Yeah.
And you were able to see that for me when I needed you. So thank you. I love you.
You know, and it's also about patience too.
Yes. Yes.
Patience and understanding.
Yes.
A lot of people think that they have these qualities.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah. I recorded a whole episode about that. The episode that's coming out next after this one is, well, not all just about that, but a lot of it's about patience and patience with others and patience with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to continue, so as we were going down the trail of the hike, I was in front of you leading the way at some points. And it was also this beautiful moment for me where it wasn't just about trusting you and trusting certain friends in my life. The universe was also saying, trust yourself. Because like I was leading the way and I was ahead of you and it was me. Like you can trust yourself. And there were certain parts that were steeper or more rocky than others. And I took my time and definitely slowed down to get down them. But I was like, I got this. Like, I need to trust myself right now. And I trust the universe. And I was able to fucking get down them. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And it was so much about like trusting myself and so much empowering myself. And like this beautiful, like, just a lot of what I got that day was about trust. And I definitely understood it then. But I don't think I fully came to fruition, fully understanding what the universe was trying to tell me until recently, because I've been doing a lot of examination and just trust and trusting other people and trusting myself. I remember Dawn, my life coach, she was in an episode that I recorded earlier during the session. She was like, something that I've noticed about you is you like always like reclaim sort of your good qualities or you verbally, like you almost feel the need to like, it's like, she was like, I know that you're funny. I know that you're considerate. I know that you're a good friend. I know that you're loyal, but you like, I know all these things about you. There's such solid tenets of you, but and if you know something, you shouldn't feel the need to say it all the time. But you, a lot of times when we have sessions, not as I go throughout life, but when I have sessions with Dom, I'm like, you know, I'm really there for my friends and I give a lot to my friends because I do give a lot. And like, I am someone that can be trusted. And like, she was like, I already know these things about them. Like, about you. Everyone that's her friend knows these things about you. Like, you don't believe them fully about yourself. Like, you don't trust yourself. And I was like, yeah, I guess to an extent I don't. And she was like kind of saying about the whole trusting yourself thing, which now I very much do trust myself because this was really good and it put into a lot of perspective. She was saying about my whole accident, she was like, I think you've earned the right more than anyone to fucking trust yourself. Like, look at what you've carried yourself through. I think you've earned the right more than absolutely anyone to trust yourself. Like, look at what you've gotten yourself through. And I was like, yeah, I should trust myself. So I've been doing a lot of examination into trust. And ironically, I started working with Dom as my life coach for the first time right around when we went on this hike.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So it was like this whole beautiful thing about trust. But yeah, anyway, trusting myself, trusting others. Anyway, a really fucking cool thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
Well, it's not that cool. Is something that a term the universe coined for me that now I'm like, oh. So, and it pertains to my old self and it pertains to people that you meet as you go throughout life. It's everything. So the term that the universe gave me, which I'm now like, I came up with this, like, quote me as a spiritual teacher. No, LOL, I'm not there yet. But, but I came up with this. Or the universe gave it to me. The universe came up with it. And what it was a narcissistic spiritual. That was the term I was given.
Okay.
And what narcissistic spiritual means is I was this way. I was narcissistic spiritual before I had my spiritual awakening. I talk a lot in the podcast about how I had my spiritual awakening when I was on the Love Your Brain retreat in March 2023. But prior to my spiritual awakening, I was narcissistic spiritual. And what narcissistic spiritual means is we all know people who claim to be spiritual. They have crystals. They go crystal shopping. They do their meditations. They're very spiritual. And they just want the universe to sort of work on their behalf. And they're like, I want these things. I want these things to happen. And now I meditate and I have my crystals and I say my affirmations. So I have a relationship with the universe and all these things they're gonna happen. They're gonna happen. And I'm a very spiritual person. However, that's a narcissistic spiritual. And what that means is a narcissistic spiritual only wants to add to their life, which we should only seek out other people who add to our lives. Yes. But you should only seek out experiences that add to your life, never something that's draining.
Right.
But part of what that means is you need to look at your fucking self and be like, I'm doing these things and I have these behaviors and I move through the world this way and I need to start moving through the world this way. And I need to adjust that habit of mine. And in order to really work with the universe, I need to spirituality is accountability.
Yeah.
So
being a good person.
Exactly. And that doesn't mean just adding to your life. Sometimes it could be like, I need to do less of this. I need to change this about my life. For example, so much of what I had to learn and just being is stop trying to make things happen. Stop trying to force things happen. Just let what's supposed to happen.
Yeah. No, I think that whole idea is very interesting and very applicable to myself as well, because you know me, I grew up in a family that we're Jewish, but we didn't really celebrate a lot of the holidays, or I didn't go to Hebrew school, and my family wasn't focused on religion. And I remember when I was in middle school, I asked my mom why we weren't going to synagogue on one of the Jewish holidays that we had off for. And I was like, we're not religious. And I was saying this, and she was like, no, we actually are very religious. Like your father and I, like you can be religious too by just being a good person. You don't need to go and study religion and preach religion to be a religious person. Like the most religious people are the people who have values and are actually good people. It doesn't matter if you can read from the Torah. That doesn't make you religious. So I've kind of carried that with me throughout my whole life. Even, I consider myself culturally Jewish.
Yes.
But I'm not, reading the Torah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe in the religion and the teachings of the religion themselves. Like, I don't align myself, but I consider myself a very religious person because I think I try to be a good person and I have values, and, going back to being able to trust me and being there for a friend when they're down and not backing away. Like that all ties into the idea of being spiritual and religious, because you can preach religion.
Yes.
You can preach spirituality, but if you're not practicing it.
Exactly. You got to practice what you preach.
It doesn't matter if you're going to church. It doesn't matter if you're going to synagogue. It doesn't matter if you're doing all these things to show externally that you're religious or spiritual. If your friend is going through a tough time and you're not going to be there for them.
Exactly. You have to practice what you preach. And I think what you said is so true, where a lot of the problems that I have with Christianity and why, I don't, even though I was raised Roman Catholic, I don't personally identify that is, you see it all the time in politics. Saying that gay people can't get married and attributing it to your religion, or saying that not understanding the point of pro-choice and attributing it to your religion. No. Because if you actually read the Bible, if you actually pay attention to God's teachings, what God is saying, and this applies to the Torah because it's the first half of the Bible, what God is saying is, mind your damn business and I will judge them later. God says, love thy neighbor. He says, mind your damn business. These are if you think that in order for you to wind up in heaven, you can't be gay and you can't get an abortion, that's fine if that's what you personally think, but don't force that on other people. God is saying, mind your damn business. So a lot of these people that are so about their religion and so they go to church weekly, they're not actually
religious people.
They're not actually religious people. They're just assholes. Sorry. So I don't want to be part of me is don't alienate your audience, but then part of me is I don't fucking care about this.
If you're going to church and it genuinely makes you a better person and you're practicing values and you are a good person because of it, then I'm here for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, at least, going to synagogue wasn't going to make me a better person. What was going to make me a better person was, doing things that made me feel good and being a good friend and, taking advice from my parents who made me the person I am today.
Exactly. Church just makes me zone out.
Yeah.
When I meditate in the morning, I am then a more positive person and go throughout my day treating people better. That doesn't mean I'm not. It's just. You read the book, you sing. It's just for me. It's not being actually religious or spiritual.
Yeah,
is embodying it and living through it in your day-to-day life. So that's essentially what narcissistic spiritual was saying. It was there are a lot of people that can claim spiritual, I did this, and shocker, and something that I need to remember, and we all need to remember, is you're not special. You're not special. So just like I was narcissistic spiritual, other people obviously are definitely in that place too, and that's fine. We're all on our own journeys. I got out of it, they'll get out of it too. But just because someone says they're spiritual, just because I was really discovering spirituality at this point, don't blindly trust every single person that says they're spiritual, and don't assume that every person that says they're spiritual is going to have the highest morals and be the most solid person. The reality is just like you, when you're in your phase, they could be narcissistic spiritual. And not only that, but even you as a very spiritual person, that means adjusting things within yourself. So that means that sometimes you gonna fuck up and you gonna have to fix that. Spirituality is accountability. It's not blaming the world. It's not blaming the universe. It's not only expecting the universe to work for you because you say your affirmations and you have crystals and you meditate. That's not what spirituality is. That's narcissistic spiritual. Spirituality is accountability. It's really taking stock of how you can work with what you have to be a better person and put more positivity and love and light into the world. Anyway.
Amen.
So that was my conversation with the universe. And then a bigger thing, or not a bigger thing, but something I got from myself specifically about my conversation with the universe is, while it told me I got messages about specific people and who you can trust. Oh, this was the coolest thing. I forgot to say this. The universe did this great job of explaining to me, this metaphor was beautiful, about how we are all planets. We are all planets. And sometimes you can be really close. When you're really close to someone, like this breakup you just went through, you're really close to something, and then all of a sudden something destroys it, and you're like, what the fuck? I thought we were boys. Like, what the hell was that? I thought this was my person. I thought they were implanted in my life. Or I thought we were vibing at the same level. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, we've all had friend breakups.
Yeah.
Like, I trusted you. Was I wrong? It's not that you're wrong. It's that we're all planets. So we're all orbiting. We're all orbiting. We all have our orbits. And sometimes your orbits intersect. And you might be within each other's orbits. And sometimes you're orbiting really close. So you're really close, like someone you're dating, or like your mom, like you're orbiting, your orbits are really close. But orbits, they keep going. So you can become out of each other's orbit. You can leave each other's orbit. And it's not that you were wrong. It's not that you were wrong to trust this person. It's not that you were wrong that the universe wanted you to meet. No, everything's happening as it's supposed to happen. It's that you just left each other's orbits. And that doesn't mean, because orbits, you can come back together. You can absolutely come back together. So never say never. Just because a relationship temporarily or a friendship temporarily ends doesn't mean it's over forever. Doesn't mean it's definitely going to come back together, because you might stay out of each other's orbits for the rest of your lived lives. But we're just planets and we're orbiting. And when you leave each other's orbit, that's just natural. And you might come back together. So that was the beautiful metaphor I got. And to close out, as the universe was giving me all these messages about specific people, as you can imagine, that applied to the orbits metaphor, it told me I do this thing where I like to tell everyone everything. I'm a giver. So I like to tell everyone everything. So I'm like, oh my God, I learned this about you. The universe told me this about you. And the universe was saying, bitch, you don't need to tell everyone everything. And it told me, like, you are allowed to share this. You don't need to share this. This can just be between me and you. Let other people learn it for themselves, you know? You can be stingy with your knowledge, and you just want to give and give because you're a giver and you think everyone's in love. But hey, narcissistic spiritual, keep that in the back of your head. Not everyone needs to know these things yet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I am right there with you with just giving and want to give, wanting to keep giving, even when you're falling out of orbit with someone.
Yes.
And desperately trying to stay in orbit.
Yes.
But then, as you know, desperately trying to stay in orbit. But once you're out of orbit, like, at least for me, in my relationship, taking a minute to breathe, to breathe and kind of assess why in the weeks after, why you might have fallen out of orbit.
Yeah.
You know, it obviously it takes a lot, but sometimes you just got to do that.
Exactly. That's so true. Like, so often we can force, I've done it in the past for sure. We can try to force like a reconnection with somebody. And like when you're falling out of orbit, be so resistant to it and be restricting so much. But part of just being in flow with the universe is like, letting things happen, and it's okay. Just accepting, like, hey, you're not in, it's all right.
Yeah.
You're all on your own journey. You're all doing your things, and that's okay. And you don't need to give all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
That is to say, you know, female friendships, definitely the most important to stay in orbit with.
Female friendships are 100% the most orbit.
And when your friend is down bad, being there for them.
Exactly.
Like, I will say, which I wanted to bring up in this, when the night of my breakup, you were like, oh, I have tentative plans, but I'm going to stay home. After he leaves, like, I'll be there for you.
Yes.
So whatever, he came over, we talked for 2 hours. I was sobbing the whole time.
I watched it from my window.
You watched it from your window. After you were like, how was it? And I was like, oh, I was crying the whole time. And at one point, like, he started crying too. And you literally are like, oh, I know. I saw him take off his glasses and wipe his tears.
Oh, yeah, I clocked that. I clocked that. No. It was at 1 hour, 34 minutes in.
But point being is, you know, it was probably like the worst day of my year, the worst night. I was crying. I was so upset. And you stayed there. You watched it happen. And when he left, you were like, okay, while this was happening, I went to Salt and Straw and I got us 5 pints of ice cream. And right now we're going to sit at the kitchen table and eat ice cream. And we both we sat there and we laughed and we cried and we ate ice cream. And
it was amazing.
You know, even when I think of that day and how horrible I felt, I'll always think of, you know, how that kind of saved me that day. And, you know, people, you know, fall out of their female friendships and leave them for relationships. But that's at the end of the day, the most important thing, because relationships come and go.
Exactly.
But if you can be there for your friend when they're down, they're going to be there for you when you're down.
Exactly. I'm happy I was able to give that to you.
You know,
you've given so much to me.
Crush 5 pints of ice cream.
Crush 5 pints. And it was good. I still think about some of those flavors.
What was our favorite? It was like, it was the salted caramel chocolate cupcake or something.
It was right? The cake batter.
The brownie cake batter. Yeah, that was.
Oh my God, there was another one that was good. Malted something. Well, I don't know. We can do research.
We'll look.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. We're I literally with one of my friends a few months ago, we were trying to plan something and he was like, oh my God, I'm so booked. And he was like seeing a few girls, but like none of them seriously.
Yeah.
And like none of them that he like seen several different girls casually. They're just like dating around or whatever. And he was like, oh my God, I have stuff lined up all these weeks. But he had told me that we would see each other like blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh my God. And finally I was like, what's more important to you? This bitch that's gonna be gone in a few months, or me who's gonna be here forever?
Literally.
And he was like, you're right. And he moved the thing with the other person to have a night with me.
No, it's literally
but
like
it's so true.
No, and it's like literally when like your friends like cancel plans that you've had to go on like a random date. You're like, it's probably like, not even, if you're canceling our plans, it's not going to work out.
No, it's not going to work. If you're canceling our plans, it's not going to work out. That is so true.
Your random date.
Because the person that's supposed to be with you, you would never have to cancel fucking anything to go on a date with them. They would be so open to seeing you at another time.
Exactly.
Anyway, the way we're going to wrap up, we're going to wrap up in 2 ways. But the way number one, we have to do this one first.
Oh God.
Is I have a content rack every week.
Okay.
Or every episode, not every week, but every episode I have a content rack. And when I have guests, they share their content rack. I already know your content rack because this is a re-record.
Oh my God, wait, I forgot what I said. What was the question again?
Your content rack was...
Oh, right.
Yes, as our content, something that supports spiritual growth in some way.
Okay.
A book, a movie, a stand-up show... somebody recommended a podcast, plus somebody recommended an activity. But yes, anything that supports spiritual growth.
I would say my favorite movie of all time is Forrest Gump.
All right. I'm hearing this for the first time.
I mean, it's basically about a man.
Yes.
He comes from nothing. He's disabled. He literally has nothing, but he goes through life with the most positive mindset. He thinks he can accomplish anything.
Delulu positive.
He doesn't let the negative energy, the bad, everyone getting down on him get in his way. He just does his thing. He pursues his passions. And he gets so far.
So far.
Forrest Gump is rich. And, the famous saying, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You really never know what you're going to get. But you always got to make the best of it and make the most of it. And he just goes through life not letting the negative chatter get in his way and making the most of anything, be it bad, be it good. And I think we could all be like Forrest Gump.
I know.
And I would love to go through life with that mindset. And to be like Forrest Gump. Not only because he runs across the country, which I'm working on that.
You want to run across the country?
No, I don't.
Oh.
That's a little too far for me.
Okay.
I would perish, but he does. And it's great for him.
And I also think what's so beautiful, and you mentioned this a little bit last time, is that all the negative chatter, all the people who have terrible things to say about him, he doesn't realize or believe any of it. And that is such a thing where your perception is your A belief is just a thought that you repeat to yourself. A belief becomes your perception, and your perception is your reality. So because he chooses not to perceive any of these people saying anything bad about him, his reality It's not that anyone's ever mean to him. It's that everyone's super nice to him and things are all good.
Yeah.
And everybody's there to support him.
Exactly.
So if you bleed positivity into the world, which he does, you're going to get positive back. So the importance, the power of positivity and how your perception is your reality and a belief is just a thought you repeat to yourself. So Delulu positive. Honestly, this movie embodies so much of the teachings.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's like, I name a better movie. It's so good.
You can't. Now, Inside Out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, not actually.
The emotions.
But I know before we say goodbye, I know you were saying that you thought of like things you wanted to say that you didn't say the first time we recorded.
I've said them.
You've said them.
Yes.
Okay, you've said everything. So then we're going to end with my spiritual moment of the week.
Okay.
And my spiritual moment of the week was that we didn't know if we were going to be able to record this episode in time because you were coming from work and Nick, my editor, has to go to someplace after. But I wasn't stressed about it at all, which normally that would, or not normally, months ago, that would have really stressed me myself out. And I would have been so like this and like, oh my God, this has been a go.
Yeah.
But I literally was like, everything that's in service will be supported by the universe. I'm literally recording this podcast episode to talk about the universe's message that it gave me when we had a conversation. It's all going to be fine. We're going to record this episode. It's going to be good. And sure enough, look, episode recorded, episode done. Nick, you got out of work. Nick can make his next job on time. This has been Gabriella rebranded. Win most, lose some. We won by recording on time. Okay, XOXO, bye.
Bye.